what I'd like to ask you about is how you're using LinkedIn for business and what your kind of top tips are for people in, so I mean, I guess for me to just get a feel, so are you reaching out to people on LinkedIn, or how are you getting your business on via LinkedIn?
So I'm reaching out on LinkedIn. I've got a number of things I do regularly to get work and followers and engagement. Firstly, what I do every work day, I share my status on LinkedIn. I update it.
Okay.
So, for example, what I do, I help companies with their data and their spreadsheets and databases.
Mm-hmm.
So I think of I've worked on basically. For example, I worked with a product director or sales director on a project. I said I worked with a sales director on this project and he achieved this kind of benefit. For example, he might have been reporting my hag before I was involved for 2 days. I've got on board with him and it saved him 2 days a month basically. So therefore I put on my status, I work with a sales director and I save him 2 days a month. I do it every day. I save with different projects.
Okay, so you're going on there every day and sharing something that you've done, but I suppose the most important thing that I'm getting at what you're saying is you're showing the benefit of what that company has got from working with you.
Yes, sometimes it might be a blog post or a video testimonial as well, as well.
And do you spend time growing your network on LinkedIn? Do you do that in a proactive way?
I don't need to anymore, really. I think what happens is these days, take it more. I don't spend loads of time doing that anymore. I used to.
Right.
But also, you've got to be a bit careful. Sometimes you get a bit wary of you having show the connections and blocked. So I don't push that anymore.
But if people reach out to you, or if you met somebody at an event, for example, would you go and connect with those automatically?
Oh, yeah. If somebody asks me to connect, basically, I'll pretty much always set a connection. Okay. Right. Okay. If I meet somebody at an event, okay, then I'll connect with them quite easily. But I don't go on LinkedIn there and look for job finance directors or that kind of stuff. Just connection with people as I go, and it works so far. It's fine in that regard.
And I think what's really good about your LinkedIn profile is your headline is brilliant, helping clients overcome Excel and spreadsheet hell. Because I know for a lot of people, Excels and spreadsheets feels like hell. And I think the other thing I love about your LinkedIn profile is you make it very clear about how you help businesses and what your specialist areas are. And your LinkedIn profile is really clear and easy to read. You've got paragraphs in there as opposed to just one great big long screen of text.
Thank you.
So I think you've done a good job there.
Good.
So that's how. So you update your status every day, and then what happens? How do people then contact you and say, "I'd love you to come and do the same for me"? What happens next?
Yeah, basically, once in a while, maybe once a month or thereabouts, people see my status. They follow me for a while, and they got me a message. They say, "Look, we looked at your profile, looked at your status updates, and can you come and have a chat with us?" Basically,
right.
Go see them and have a discussion about what their business plan is to achieve. And I say, well, I need a spreadsheet solution or a database solution. Explain the pros and cons of a solution, that kind of stuff. And he goes, no, I might show him a video, or I'll go to work with somebody else, and he talks about it, give me a testimonial, in a video.
So LinkedIn for you then is establishing that connection, that relationship in the first place. And it sounds like it's not necessarily an instant, right, I'm going to work with you, but it's they're obviously following you for a little while. And then when they've seen enough people getting 2 days of the month back because they've, changed the way they do their pricing or their quote management, that's when they get in touch. It's more of a kind of more of a nurturing, more of a long-term relationship.
I mean, you've got to be very careful. The people I'm working with are quite senior. You can't really push them too much. Mm-hmm. And also, you've got to bear in mind, there's catch-22. But they've got no system. Your poor system is so busy, they can't see you. So therefore, you go in there, fires you in, they'll get nowhere. So you get it back off, okay? And come to you in due course.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Well, that's been very helpful, and I'm sure the people on the LinkedIn challenge will appreciate seeing how you use LinkedIn. And I think the key things I'm getting out of here is that you're in there on a very regular basis, just doing small updates, but without being pushy. And I think also the fact that your profile and your headline summary is very clear. I can see straight away whether or not you're the sort of business that will help, will work and benefit my business. And I think that's the two things I'm taking away from what you're saying.
But it also, in addition, I always do articles once a week or thereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
The articles get shared by various people. Okay, and that helps as well. So it's just, it's first the station updates, then the article and so forth. It all kind of helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Well, Kats, thank you so much for talking to us today. And if anybody has heard about your business, do you want to just give your business a quick plug and tell them where they can find you, your website?
Well, yeah, of course. So my website is fingertips-intelligence.co.uk. That's FINGERTIPS intelligence.co.uk.
Excellent. So fingertips-intelligence.co.uk.